Welcome back to the Real Talk with Elliott series. Once again, man, I'm so thankful that you guys participate in this series. I'm so thankful that you guys share and you interact with me and you ask me questions. This is one of the most fun things that I do. This is one of the most fun videos that I create because it's meaningful to me. I really want to make a difference for people. So thank you so much for participating and being a part of it. And today's question is really, really important. And today's question it came from social media. So I don't know the person's actual name, but their social media handle is My Words Heal. And they sent me a message and they asked, how does a man build self esteem? So I'm going to answer this question. When they say man, I think they mean person, not man versus female gender, but man as in person. I'm going to talk about how a person builds self esteem. So the best way to get self esteem is to have a parent or parents that make you feel great about yourself. To have parents or parents that are like your cheerleaders and they're always in your corner and they're pointing out what's brilliant about you and they're celebrating your successes and they're helping you navigate your failures. The best way to have self-esteem is to surround yourself or be birthed into a world where you're surrounded by people that make you feel good about yourself. So that's the number one way. That's the clearest and most direct path towards having healthy self-esteem. The problem is you don't have a choice in that. You're either born into that world or you weren't. And a lot of people, like myself, were not born into that world. So, how do you build self esteem when you didn't come from an environment that helped you build it? And I have a really, really important thing I want to share with you about that because that was my life. To be really clear, the earliest part of my life, I had a father who would tell me I was a piece of shit and you're never going to accomplish anything. And when you hear those things at a young age, you believe them, and it has a negative impact on your self esteem and your level of self efficacy. It has a really negative impact on what you think you can accomplish, what you think you can handle, what you think you can do. And I want to tell you how to build self esteem from that. The first thing I want you to do is to test. Now, so Ellie, what do you mean by test? What I want you to do is I want you to set goals and then test accomplishing them. Like for example, when I was really really dealing with that, it was getting to its worst. I was about 19 years old. And I really wasn't thinking one day I want to write books and I want to be, a world leading psychotherapist and I want to do keynotes all over the world. It really started with me this semester I'm going to do everything I can to get A's and B's. In college, it was a 3.0. And that summer, I was going to a community college to get credits. And I just wanted to get A's and B's. And I would work to see if I could pull that off. I realized that my self esteem was really low because of the influence of someone else. So I had to learn that I could only depend on myself to pick it up. So I started setting these really small goals. And as I accomplished them, I realized that I can live in a world and make the person who is detracting from my self esteem wrong. And that was a really powerful realization for me. So I want you to test and I want you to set really small goals and then work to accomplish them and see the impact that has on you as you start realizing I can accomplish things. And I constantly was setting goals. The other thing I want you to do is define success for yourself. Oftentimes people will say you need to become a doctor, a lawyer, this big huge thing. And for me, I just wanted to be someone in service. That's actually what my drive was in the early days of my career. And for me, there was only a couple of fields that did that, one of them being psychotherapy. And there were people in my life telling me that that's not good enough. You're never going to be anything like that. And now I feel very comfortable with the way my career has gone and the professional things that I've achieved. So set your own bar for what you define as success. And then the third thing I'll say is, as you test and set these small goals and as you kind of self determine what you consider successful, I also want you to develop the skill, and this is probably the most important thing. I should have said this first, actually, is I want you to get good at looking in your history for evidence of success and positive things about you. Whenever we're like working to build our self-esteem, we live in a world that is full of negativity and criticism. And like I told you, the best way, the most direct way to have good self-esteem is to be born into a family that built you up. And one of the ways that to do that is you surround yourself with loving people that tell you, here's the evidence of how great you are. And some of us weren't born into that kind of family. So you have to develop the skill of looking in your life and seeing that's evidence of my successes. For example, when I feel really down and I don't feel great about myself, I sometimes think, like I've got a really close friend. His name is Matthew. Very, very close friend. I've known Matthew since he was 19 years old. So in those times where I feel like I'm not a great person and I'm not worthy, I sometimes think, what would Matthew say is the reason that he's been in my life for over 25 years? Because Matthew wouldn't agree that like I'm not worthy and I'm not a great person and I'm not all of the positive things. So get really good at looking in your life, in your past, in your history to find evidence of your positive traits. And then the final thing I will say is, if you weren't born into a family that gave you this gift of positive self-esteem, then I want you to build a support system around you that builds you up and supports you. Like I already mentioned, my boy Matthew, my partner. Surround yourself with people that are willing to point out to you how great they think you are and how wonderful they think you are and the things you do well. Even when they're holding you accountable for mistakes you've made, they don't make you think that you've made no mistakes because you're bad. They made you think they're mistakes and human beings make mistakes. So those are the ways to build your self-esteem if you happen to be in a situation where your self-esteem is low because perhaps you didn't come from a family where the self-esteem was built for you. If you do these things, I promise it'll make a difference in your life. It literally changed my life. I went from being depressed and anxious and having really low self-esteem to having healthy self-esteem and feeling good about myself and being confident in just about any scenario and accomplishing way more than I ever thought I'd accomplish in this world. So I hope this helps. My words heal. I hope this makes a difference for you. I hope this helps you. And anybody else listening, I hope this helps you too. And if you want me to answer a question for you in this Real Talk series, send me an email. You can email me. I'll put the link here on the screen somewhere. I'll have my camera guy edit it in. You can leave a comment on this video. You can send me a direct message on social media like My Words Heal did. You can send me a text message to 972-426-2640. And I will be super excited to make a video for you.